You are already heard. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Healing into Femininity. It's me, Joanna Fatonji, and today we are talking about that you are already her. So, what do I mean by that? So, I always like to start with my own stories. So, it makes me feel like I can relate to what I say, if that makes sense. Or it makes, I want you to know that I can relate to what I'm saying. So I have been wanting to live my dream forever. Yeah. So let me be a little bit more concrete. So I started my spiritual awakening or my whatever you want to call it. There are so many names for it, but I would call it the spiritual awakening. I had it quite early in my in my mid 20s when I was finished with uni. I knew now was the time to live my dreams. I actually I just had energy. I didn't know exactly what I wanted because me today, I am a speaker, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a spiritual teacher and other things. Yeah. So, but what I love is speaking. I'm a teacher, I'm a seeker, I'm an explorer. I go out there and live my dreams. I travel, I follow my passions, whether it be participating in the Miss Germany contest or traveling or acting or playing the video vixen or modeling or whatever. Like I have done it all. And I like to do those things just for fun and to see, okay, let me explore myself. Let me see what I can do, show myself, and just live out my girl dreams, right? So, but what I'm really, really passionate about is consciousness. Consciousness, understanding the human nature, understanding spirituality, understanding my own personal power, understanding my desires, understanding how we were all indoctrinated, right? How our ancestral imprints have a hold on us, how society and society's programming has a hold on us in terms of a scarcity mindset. You're not enough. Um, who do you think you are? Or the fear of standing out, the fear of being too much, right? It's so paradox, right? We are afraid of being too little. We are afraid of being too much. We are afraid of falling out of the average, right? We are afraid of falling out of mediocrity because then we no longer belong to the mass tribe, but we are actually outside of the tribe, and our primal brain thinks that's dangerous, right? So all of these things I've loved to study it. I still love to study it, and now I just want to share it. So with all of that being said, is that I just want to share with you a little bit about part of my story that has been going on for too long. And a part of my journey was to I knew there wasn't anything really more for me to learn. That might sound a little crazy or arrogant or whatever, I don't care. But I started my like a deep with a full on hell yes all in investment. I started my seeking journey, and I was always like a very um I don't know, for a lack of a better word, like I knew that I was a professional. I knew that I was kind of, I only deserved the best. So when I started seeking out the things that I was passionate about, I always went for kind of the elite or the best of the best teachers that I could learn from. So when I was finished with my studies, as I said, I studied international business, I think. And then when I was done, that's exactly 10 years ago, When I was done, I worked in corporate just for a year as an accountant, and it was like bougie and nice. And I was always wearing my heels and my cute little office outfit. But then I was bored, and I felt like, okay, I want to pursue my dreams again. And I used to be a dancer when I was younger, so I started dancing again. But then I realized, as I just said, I love dancing, I love modeling, I love acting, I love these things. These are like expressions of me. But what I really love, like the core of what I love, is like psychology, spirituality, studying human potential, human nature, how to be the best version of yourself, health, like cellular health, right? Cell food, cell health, really the going to the down, the deepest bottom. And this is what I associate with elite or high level knowledge. Like it's not just the surface level mainstream kind of knowledge, but it's really deep science and deep knowledge, right? So that's what I learned. I learned from, I would say, also one of the best doctors in Germany. I'm a medically approved nutritionist. And then I wanted to learn more about spiritual and mental health and manifestation and transformation and alchemy and all of this magical occult stuff. And I did. So I studied with one of the biggest institutes in the States. It's called the Brave Thinking Institute with Mary Morrissey. She has been my mentor for like the past 7 years or so. And this is also where I learned a very, very comprehensive way of, yeah, approaching personal development. Yeah, deep, deep, deep spiritual knowledge, practical also on how to reprogram the mind, activate your energy, and become the woman that you want to be. Right? So I'm saying all of that so you might relate. So maybe you are also somewhere where you're deeply invested into yourself, you have invested into your education, you might have also invested into your dreams, into your hobbies, maybe into further education. You got some certifications and other degrees. And now this is really what I want to talk about, is that I believe that many of us, we get stuck, even though like we have collected all of what we really wanted, and then we don't see ourselves as being the realized version of ourselves. That's the best way how I can say it. Because and that's like, let's get a little metaphysical here, right? So, one thing they say in metaphysics is that if you can't think of something, it already exists. Because the moment you think about something, it already exists in your mind, right? So when there is something already existent in your mind, especially if it's a picture of you, a version of you, you are already her, right? Because if you can imagine, if you can see her, if you can feel her, if you know how she would think, how she would act, how she would speak, how she would dress, how she would be, you are her. You're her. And that's the whole secret of true manifestation, if you want to call it that, of true living, of true embodiment, of true awakening, of the true rebirth, or whatever you want to call it. Like there are so many names, and I always like to call all the names because I know that I am going to attract um or I am attracting all kinds of people. Some come from the spiritual space, some come from the pretty girl club, right? Some come from a more of a business mindset. I know that I attract many kinds of people because I am her. I am many. And and that's really what I want to say, is that if you are in a situation where you feel like actually you have everything under your belt to be that woman, be her, be her. That's really the key point for today. Be her now. You only have to be her now. I heard one interesting saying, and it's not like you're not running out of ideas, you're running out of confidence, right? Sometimes we're thinking in our minds, we're thinking about how we could do this and this and that. But it's not about the ideas. You have the ideas, you know what to do. But maybe it's you're running out of confidence because let me give you a real example here, okay? So, for example, I always say that, and I'm going to continue to say that also just to kind of give you the permission slip to be as open about it as me. So, I have invested almost like 100,000 euros into my personal development. So, in my mentorship, into my programs, into my coaching, and so on. And of course, I'm a businesswoman as well. Like spirituality is also a business, mentorship, coaching, it's a business, right? So I am a business. I am a walking library. Yeah, that's exactly who I am. And I'm going to share more and more content here on YouTube as well. And on my podcast, come over. There are so many more episodes there. I decided to come back onto YouTube because now I feel like, okay, it's time to show my face again. Maybe I'm going to change it again. I don't know. But what I want to say is that I invested this money into myself. I am a business. So, of course, now I am charging 100,000 euros. You know, it's just like in a business. So if somebody invests 100,000 euros into renovations or even material, like not even renovations, but literally material. So you're buying goods, you're buying everything that is, yeah, in the shop that you want to sell. You buy it and then you sell it for more, even more profit, right? You buy it and then you sell it. So the same goes with me, the same goes with a teacher, with a coach, and the same goes probably with you too. So that's why I always tell my clients of, especially if they're artists or some kind of service providers, also healers, yoga teachers, also other spiritual teachers, artists, things like that. Um, it's important to also like count what you have invested into yourself because this makes the price go up. You are a business. It's an investment, a literal investment into your mind, into your education. You are a knowledge container. And that is your what you bring to the table. It's your assets. You are a consultant, a coach, something like that. So with that being said, you've invested all this money into yourself, and now listen here, what I said before, you are already her. You are already her. And many women, this is my experience, is that they don't dare to actually like flip the coin, if that's the right term. Um, you have bought all these things and invested into you, but now you don't really believe that you have gone up in value. You understand? Like, just imagine like you are a department store, you go out there, you buy goods for 100,000 euros. And then it's like, okay, if the goods are there, you know exactly, okay, I have bought the goods. Now my department store value, what's inside the store, has gone up because of the literal goods you exchange for 100,000 euros. You got the goods are now in your department stores, your value went up. Easy, right? The same thing goes with knowledge, right? If you invest in knowledge, if you invest in training, in refinement of your skills, in also frequency, right? Investing into personal development has also a lot to do with frequency if it's done right. It's about being in the rarefied air of the people that you're learning from. So I always like I flew to LA and then we stayed in the Marriott Hotel and then we were in this ballroom, like for everyone who knows American personal development seminars. Like I think it was a quite typical high level personal development retreat kind of style. Um, you have the food and like everything is kind of it's a concept. It's very sacred. It's very sacred and it's very like mysterious and you just feel like an initiate because that's what it is. You become an initiate into the mysteries of human psychology, kind of. And with that being said, I just want to remind you that you actually are her now. Your price has gone up. Your price has gone up. You are her. Now you are now the 100,000 euro lady. And your coaching programs, your time, your energy, your expertise is worth that amount. That's just one part. It's just the money. But I love to talk about money because I still feel that not enough women are talking about money so openly. I don't know. I love it. So, again, what I want to say here is that it's not only the money, it's also you. You are her. You are already your dream girl. So, the whole thing about being your own dream girl is about daring to be her now. Because once you have decided to be her, once, especially, and again, it's about money, once you have invested that money, once you've gained the understanding, once you have kind of bought or purchased something that automatically kind of refines your energy, you are her. So the whole challenge is really more about you walking in that knowing every day. You walking in that knowing day by day by day by day, day by day by day by day, and seeking or being open to, I think seeking is also okay, but like being open to experience the world now from the embodiment of her, of that woman. So there is no baby stepping to become more. You are already her. It's no longer really about becoming. It's more so about attuning yourself to who you have become already. It's more about you being mindful of when you are slipping out of her again and focusing on being her every day, doing like the rituals, whether it be meditation, mantra chanting, whether it be movement, embodiment, like breath work, sound. Um, yeah, movement, breath, sound, meditation, mantra, those things can help you to raise your vibration, right? Raise your vibration is literally being still and letting your most purified and beautiful spiritual clear authentic soul essence come through, shine through, and getting rid, like again, like taking off the skin, getting rid, cleansing yourself from the human scarcity programming that we've all kind of undergone being on this planet, right? Getting rid of the scarcity, getting rid of the I am not enough, getting rid of the fear of outshining, getting rid of the fear of scrutinization, getting rid of the fear of not allowing, like not deserving what it is that you want, getting rid of all of those things and coming through, shining through as the purified essence that you are, that you, especially if you invest in a high level program with someone who's really an initiate, someone who's really a spiritual teacher, someone who's really a like whatever, initiate in whatever tradition, but somebody who actually knows what they're doing. If you're investing with someone like me or some of my other colleagues, it is you kind of instantly change. But what makes people fall back is that they don't believe that it is happened. It has happened. It is done, as it said, it is done, right? It is done. It's a beautiful saying in like more of a witchy kind of energy of this whole manifestation thing. So it is done. It is done. It is done. So nothing more to do. You are enough. You are amazing. You're perfect. You don't have to change yourself. The only thing you might want to do is to continue the rituals of the goddess that you have become, to continue the rituals of this high level woman that you've become, to live her life every day instead of sliding back into living the life of someone you're no longer. And this is where cognitive dissonance comes from. I spoke about this in another episode, and that's actually like I think one of the easiest way to describe where like frustration comes from, or where a feeling of being stuck comes from, or where actually mental illness comes from. It's when you have decided, like you have decided, and you are now, for example, investing with me, right? You're investing with me. You're going through like this proven, repeatable, reliable system of transformation, high level personal purification process. And after that, you have to believe that it is done, you know? But many people don't believe that it is done because the unworthiness is so deep. The unworthiness of allowing yourself to be free. You are enough. You don't, and this is another thing, you don't have to be perfect. Whatever that means, right? You don't have to look like someone else. You don't have to look like a certain beauty standard. You are your own beauty standard, right? This is also what I like to talk about more and more. I'm going to talk about that more. You are your own beauty standard. I am on my own altar. I am on my own pedestal. I am on my own throne. You know, there is no one else above me on this planet. No one else above me on this planet. I honor my ancestors. I honor my spirit guides. I honor whatever we want to call it, right? Your Orisha, your higher self, or you can call it whatever you want. But I honor those those entities. I honor those energies, my ancestors, my bloodline, right? My imprint, my womb lineage, like the matriarchal line, my mother, my grandmother, and so forth. Everyone who came before me, because I am inheriting like their karma, for example, or for lack of a better word, like their imprints. This is my one of my the work that I'm here to do. I get to purify my lineage if I awaken to my higher self, right? So, and then of course we have our higher self, our goddess, our spiritual guides, whatever we want to call it, our matron goddess, or yeah, whatever. You can call it whatever you want if you still follow. So we are awakening into our higher selves, right? I also have to think about the gene keys right now, which I think is a beautiful way of explaining it more, like what I just said with the ancestors and with the higher self. With the gene keys, it's really like three levels. You have the shadow, you have the pathway, and you have the city, like the highest potential of your gene potential, right? So that's what we are here for. And if you do your rituals, right? If you do your rituals, for example, be still, taking pauses, meditating, contemplating, being in solitude or being in quietude. It doesn't have to be solitude all the time, but just being quiet, listening more into yourself, and and just retraining your brain and your energy. As I just said, literally raising your frequency is about being still, yeah, and meditating, and not letting the program of the outside world, of the monkey mind run your mind, but literally being quiet, being at peace, creating alignment between your system, your gut, like your womb, your gut, your heart, and your mind. Everything is in alignment. And this is what's called, yeah, alignment. And if it's not in alignment, it's called dissonance, right? Cognitive dissonance is when your when your energy, as I just said, like when you have decided this is who I am, this is me, like this is who I am, this is what I've invested in. I know what it is that I want to do. I know what it is the life that I want to live. It's not so much necessarily about what you want to do, even though you will probably want to do something because you have a passion or you have a calling. Mm, but it's really about what it is that you are here to do. You or be, you align with that every day. That is what rituals are for. You do it every day. Just like if you decide, maybe it's a conscious decision or more an autopilot, which is also okay, is you decide to brush your teeth every day, right? You decide to wash your face every day. You decide to clean your body every day. You decide to drink water every day. You decide, and then as a spiritual or as any kind of successful person, you have rituals, right? And as a goddess or as a highly purified woman, whatever you want to call it, as a priestess, as a teacher, yeah, you have rituals and you want to do them and you kind of have to do them. You have to do them in order to stay in alignment with your truth, with your essence, with what you have called forth before. And I could go on and on and on. And for me, it's very, very important to point that out again. If you feel or if you felt like you've been stuck, it is because you've probably not done what it is that you would have to do. So for me, it's speaking, it's teaching, it's also doing my personal rituals. Yeah, it's writing, it's chanting, it's dancing, it's eating the foods that I eat, and doing the things that give me life. Like this is what is good for me, and also sharing. Right, I am a teacher. I'm a priestess. I am a spiritual teacher, whatever you want to call it, right? So the same thing goes for you. You are her already. The question really is, why are you not doing the things that you know you're supposed to do? Because also, one thing that I can share from my personal experience is that one thing that spirit will make you do, yeah, this is part of the purification process. So, the purification process, what I mean by that is literally purifying yourself and your cells through fasting, right? Like we have the archetypal story of Jesus in the wilderness, the 40 days of fasting in the wilderness, or in every other tradition you can find that too, is where you purify yourself of the things that are not necessarily part of you or beneficial to you. For a woman, I would always recommend purifying your womb. Yeah, so that means like not to sleep with any man that is not necessarily your sacred, like your husband. Um, Not do that. Purify your gut. So this is also what I offer. So check it out. I will link it in the link down below. It's like a gut cleanse, like to really restore your gut microbiome and your gut health, cleansing your gut health from parasites and things like that. Also cleansing your heart, right? We can do things to cleanse the heart because the cleansing the heart or opening the heart is one of the most powerful and most important things and channels we can do or we have to do in order to fulfill our divine assignment or to be all you can be. I want to use different kind of terminology so more people can relate. It's about you opening your heart because the heart is creating that glow. Your heart is creating that radiance. Your heart is creating the morphogenetic magnetic field around you that will pull in whatever is to your liking, right? It's also going to pull in things that you will not like. So manifestation is not only about attracting only the things that you want, but also everything. It's like moth to a flame because you're literally glowing. So everything is going to come. So opening your heart, purifying your heart, and also your throat. Opening your throat, purifying your throat. Yeah, these are all things I'm going to keep you posted. We're planning this online workshop where we are going to go through the archetypes that will help you to open up different parts of your energy system so your energy can flow freely. So one part is opening your throat so you can speak your truth. You can speak from your womb. You can speak from your truth, from your core. Yeah. Okay. And then of course opening your vision and opening your channel to the divine. So with that being said, it's really about you realizing that you are already her. And the challenge here is to hold the pose. Maybe you've heard that before. It's about holding the pose. It's about just stubbornly being her until you are manifesting, or until you are seeing the results or the benefits of being her. And it's literally just being her. Yeah, so it's not about, and I think I spoke about that. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it's not necessarily about attracting a man. No, over here we're decentering men. It's not so important. Like whoever is coming into your life is just a byproduct of you manifesting yourself, right? It's not necessarily about manifesting that job, yeah, or manifesting the clients, which is amazing. I love my clients. Come to me. And but it's not about that. It's just a byproduct of you manifesting yourself, right? And it's the same thing with money. We love money over here, but money's not on the pedestal. I am on the pedestal. I am the goddess. I am the most precious thing in my life, right? You are her, and you should be on your pedestal. Okay, so that's really it. I think I'm going to talk more about that, but this is really the number one debunk. You are already her. There's nothing more to learn. There's nothing more to do. You don't have to self-optimize yourself or whatever. You can do that if you want, but it's not gonna make your worth higher. You are already worthy to have everything that you desire in this life and more. Yeah. If you continue to stay in alignment with her, with your open heart, with your higher self, and with your dreams and with your desires. Okay, so I hope that's clear. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you think that you're her? Are you already on your own pedestal? Are you already living, speaking, um, teaching, dancing, eating, showering, dressing, singing, chanting like her? Are you already doing it? Are you already having fun with being the embodiment of the goddess? Like you are her, okay? So what do you think? Let me know. I would love to hear from you, read your comments. And if you want a personal consultation session, go over to joannafatanji.com and book yourself a consultation session. And we will dive in and see what program, what mentorship program, what protocol is going to be the best for you. So I have three programs: 3 months, 6 months. VIP is a 12-month with some amazing bonuses in them as well. So that's it for now. I'm looking forward to hear from you. And until then, take care. Bye.